Kenya. The idea of KRA started from them, and it's an honor to have you here with us, Madam. From the Agriculture Employers Association, AEA, the CEO, Mr. Wesley Siele. You're here, Mr. Siele? All right, there you are. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Acting CEO of the Kenya Bankers Association, Mr. Raymond Molenje. Mr. Raymond, where are you, Mr. Raymond? All right, thank you for joining us. The CEO for FKE, Federation of Kenya Employers, Madam Jacqueline Mugo. Madam Mugo, all right. And I want to appreciate as well the CEO from KEPSA, Kenya Private Sector Alliance, Madam Carol Karaoke. Madam Carol, all right. Want to also appreciate the team from Red Truck, the team from Kenya's Sugar Manufacturers, KESMA, the team from Kenya Transporters Association, the team from Kenya Ships Agents Association, the team from KIFWA, that's the Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association, the team from Association of Kenya Suppliers, the team from the Competition Authority of Kenya, the team from the Micro and Small Enterprise Authority, the team from the Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis, KIPRA, the team from Samsung Electronics, the team from Trademark Africa, the team from Kenya Dentist Association, the team from WCO, and everybody. We want to celebrate you. Why don't we give ourselves a warm round of applause? Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for walking with us this journey. We appreciate you. Chief guest in 1996, just a year after KRA had been formed, the Kenya Revenue Authority Training Institute, KRATI, was formed. And I understand that is where GT1, Graduate Trainee Program 1, began. Are there any GT1s in the house today? GT1s? GT1s? Oh, wow! Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, mutatuambia siri ya kukaa very young. So thank you very much and congratulations. Allow us to move on, and I would like to welcome our first key remark holder, Winnie Mugo, to give us a few remarks. Winnie, if you could just come for just 2 minutes. Winnie is currently stationed in North Rift region. And Winnie, when I was asking those of us who have, you could take a microphone there, please. Those of us who have, if I can have someone to help give Winnie a microphone, just stand here, Winnie. Just very quickly, Winnie, we saw your face on the wall. And there are very many other people who are here. I think there's a 39-year-old, I think, as well, in KRA, who's been here for 39 years. Why is your face on the wall, Winnie? We saw your face on the wall.
Thank you so much. My name is Winnie Mugo. My face is there because we started this journey with the first Commissioner General, Mr. Manasseh. And during those days, I was nominated by former Commissioner Wendo, that is 1985, to start up the team, the secretary that started KRA. And I was privileged to be among my colleagues who are there. Some have retired. I'm yet to retire. I don't think I'm retiring soon. I've worked 37 years now.
Wow.
And I'm still counting. I still have 1 year and 8 months.
Winnie, well done, yes. You must have been 18 when you joined the authority.
No.
You're too young. Okay, Winnie, where were you on 1st July 1995, that very day?
That very day, we were at NSSF, Block A. The office that we were seated, we shared with VAT department. It was actually the reception. The CG was seated at a commissioner's office. And that is where we started the journey.
Which ministry were you in before coming to join?
Income tax, under the Ministry of Finance, Income Tax Department. Okay. We were picked from the various departments, sales tax, income tax, customs, and that's when we were all put together, and we started the secretariat.
Just to help us understand, there was 3 departments, all right? Then you were requested to join. So were you requested or were you appointed? How did you find yourselves in this secretariat you're talking about?
We were appointed. We were appointed, we got letters, and the letters came from the secretary. She's seated here, the first secretary of the CG.
Okay.
We received the letters, and we were told to start up the secretariat.
Okay.
From there, we moved, got appointed, started the offices. We were F&LS, we were procurement, we were HR, we were everything. So we started coming up with the office, procuring, employing. I can see the first GTs who joined us immediately after we had set up the office, starting with finance. We started with finance, we were trained. From there now, the first GTs joined us. I can see Mr. Uri nodding. He was one of my, yeah.
So you're telling us the Kenya Revenue Authority began as a secretariat team?
Yes.
To now 10,000 staff. Is that what you're saying? Wow.
Exactly. It's been a journey.
Wow.
Very interesting journey.
Wow. Finally, Winnie, what has been the highlight of working for the Revenue Authority in those, now we say what, 37? Now we are adding the ones in ministry?
Yes, I'm adding the ones in ministry. Okay. That is, of course, I joined in 1988.
All right. So we were born, Winnie. Stop looking at us like we were not born.
Most of you are not born. But I really thank God that we started that journey many years back, and seeing the transformation, it's just been a great journey. The transformation that I've seen, you can imagine working with 8 CGs.
Oh, wow.
I've seen 8 commissioner generals.
Wow.
You can imagine.
Look at that.
So the transformation is real. It's real. The customer service delivery has improved a lot. We've seen staff also putting their all. Those days the collection was less. These days we are talking in terms of trillions. That's just great.
Those days you were at the 100,000s.
Yes,
yeah?
yes, yes.
Oh, wow. Well done. Thank you very much. Winnie, one last thing. What do you do when you're not working for KRA? I mean, do you just work for KRA? Is there something, do you play golf? Do you play darts? Judo? I don't know. Who is Winnie outside KRA?
Winnie outside KRA is a farmer.
Okay. Mkulima namba mbili. Because you can't be number moja.
Yes.
All right.
I'm a farmer. I enjoy farming.
Excellent.
And I think that is what I will retire to.
Okay.
So, yes.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Winnie. Thank you very much, Winnie. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. As Winnie says, the wall that we have just seen is the secretariat that began the Kenya Revenue Authority in 1995. Winnie has also mentioned the first CG, Commissioner General Edgar Manasseh. And Commissioner, we want to kindly request you humbly if you could just come and say hello to us and just tell us how is the feeling. You're seated here watching 30 years of a dream come true. Karibu sana. Why don't we appreciate our Commissioner General? Karibu. What an honor. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Please go.
I'm Jambo. Yeah. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, I was the first Commissioner General of Kenya Revenue Authority. And I call it my baby because I saw it being created. I created it and I delivered it to Kenya government to help the Minister for Finance at that time, who was struggling with the IMF, World Bank, and other bilateral donors to secure money. And at that time, I think they had put a clamp on money and giving the funds to the Kenya government because of political reasons. And so I told the Minister for Finance at that time that give me the Kenya Revenue Authority and you will see wonders in terms of money. Isn't he seeing wonders now? I think the Minister is here, and I'm sure now the collection is much, much more than what we were collecting. I think, but at the time when I was the Commissioner General, we were collecting less than less than half of a billion. Now I'm told it is over 2 trillion. So congratulations to the staff, and wow, it's such a pleasure to see your baby grow to this age of 30 and doing so well. So congratulations to the staff of KRA. Please help the minister get the money, and he should be away, just like it was before, from the donor reliance. I think I used to tell Mr. Honorable Mbadi exactly that. I don't want to see you looking for money from donors. I want to give you money. And I'm sure, KRA, you can do it. Please go ahead and do it. Thank you.
As he takes to his seat, oh, sorry, sir. As he takes to his seat, could we just rise, please? Is it okay if we can just rise and just appreciate Baba? Let's do it. No. Let's clap the way they used to clap in the 90s. Do you remember how they used to clap in the 90s? You do? All right. So how do they used to clap? Dan, da-da-da. Dan, da-da-dan. Dan, da-da-dan. Dan, dan, dan. Dan, da-da-dan. I don't know what you're saying. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Thank you very much. You may have your seats. Thank you very much, Commissioner General, the 001. We then transitioned into the next Commissioner General. Allow me to keep that pending just shortly. We'll come back. But then we had our third Commissioner General, and he's here with us, Commissioner General Musafari. If you could please just come and just say hello to us. He was number 3003. But let's appreciate him as he comes. Going down history, he still looks young, doesn't he? He looks like he was appointed when he was 18 years. Karibu sana CG, and say hello to us.
Good morning. As you've been told, my name is John Musafari. All protocols observed, Waziri, CG, it's indeed a great pleasure to be here today. I think when I joined KRA in 1998, I had no idea what had been handed over to me. I'd been in the private sector, logistics industry, had interactions with customs and income tax, VAT. I never dreamt that I'll be asked to head this wonderful institution. If I look at the institution today and those days, Your Excellency Waziri, it's a completely different world. Because those days, those who remember Remington typewriters, and those are the ones who are using to type reports. When you're doing your revenue returns, etc., you get your Remington typewriter, type it, and send it as a physical copy to the Commissioner General. And I used to receive these reports from across the country, expected to read them and guide the officers. Today, with a click of a button, I can talk to the officer in Mandera without blinking my eye. So I want to say it's been a wonderful journey. When I joined KRA at that time, the target was 290 billion. compared to today at 2.4 trillion. I mean, two different worlds. But, and I remember the last day we had a function to say kwaheri to me, I told the staff, you know what? If we work at the same pace we're working today and the teamwork that there is, I don't see, achieving 350 billion. They said, what? No, never. I'm sure if those of you are here today, if we played back that tape, I said, this CG was dreaming. But now the reality is there. So again, and at that time, the total staff complement was 6,400. And because of push from IMF and World Bank, I was being asked to reduce the staff level by 1,800. You can imagine. It means the work had just tripled because with less hands on deck, and the target was being increased. But again, like I say, when there is teamwork and having focused direction, there's nothing impossible. Only the sky is the limit. And I want to encourage each one of us here today that yes, we can support the country by mobilizing every citizen to play his part. I want my parting shot is what Mwalimu Nyerere told us. It can be done. Only play your part. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It can be done, only play your part. We're on a journey. And in the year 2000, the Times Tower building to which we are seated in right now was officially opened. In 2003, we then opened 8 regional offices. In 2005, we introduced Simba system to replace Boffin. Anybody remembers Boffin? Yes, yes. In 2005, still, we introduced ETRs. I'm sure everybody remembers the electronic tax register. In 2012, we rebranded KRA to now the Kenya School of Revenue Administration, KESRA. In 2013, we introduced the RECT, the Regional Electronic Cargo Tracking System. It was deployed. 2 years later, 2015, we introduced the Accessible Goods Management System. In 2015, same year, we introduced ICMF, ICMS, sorry. In 2015, we introduced the Alternative Tax Dispute Resolution. In 2016, we introduced the Customer Relationship Management System. Same year, we established the One-Stop Border Post, OSBPs, across the country, and the Single Customs Territory under the EAC. In 2023, we introduced e-teams. In 2025, we launched e-rates. I mean, our story this is just snippets. We have done much, much more. What a journey we have been through. A journey of great success, a journey of great learnings, a journey of huge, huge inspiration to this country of ours. Let's celebrate ourselves. I think we've done great. It's been quite a journey. But in that journey, we have also experienced tragic losses. And one of our losses was our second Commissioner General, Mr. Yusuf Nzibo. We have losses. We have lost our staff across the years from when we started. And I think it's only an honor. They would have loved to be here if they were here with us. But now they have succeeded us to the next world. Why don't we just, they've preceded us to the next world. Why don't we just stand and just give them just a moment of silence for all our staff that we have lost right from the inception of KRA to where we are today. In honor, may you continue resting in peace. May you take your seats. Chief guest, allow us now to take a few remarks, and I want to call upon Commissioner General number 8. Is it? 8, yes. Mr. Humphrey Watanga, to please give us his opening remarks, recognize his team, and welcome us here officially. Commissioner General, karibu sana.
Thank you, Ageni. I've just made an interesting observation that all Commissioner Generals present do not have a single thread of hair left on their scalp. I don't know what that says about this job. The Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning, Honorable FCPA John Mbadi, the Chairman of KRA Board of Directors, Honorable Ndiritu Mureithi, KRA Board of Directors present, senior government officials present, esteemed stakeholders, KRA staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to stand before you here today as we mark a historic milestone, the 30th anniversary or the Pearl Jubilee of the Kenya Revenue Authority. In this celebration, we reflect on 3 decades of service with a deep appreciation of the lessons learned, honor our shared contributions, and chart the course for a greater future. Since its establishment in 1995, KRA has carried the critical responsibility of mobilizing government revenue, safeguarding compliance with tax laws, and promoting a transparent, fair, and efficient tax administration system in Kenya. Over the last 30 years, this mandate has translated into significant contributions to the country's economic stability, public financial management, and our national development. When KRA was established in 1995, revenue collection stood at 122 billion Kenya shillings. 30 years later, we proudly celebrate the growth of that collection to over 2.5 trillion, a reflection not only of institutional resilience, but also of the unwavering commitment of taxpayers, stakeholders who have worked with us on this journey, and more so our staff. We have proven that it is possible to cultivate economic independence when we all play our part and contribute our fair share of taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, in the formative years of KRA, tax administration was characterized by manual processes, from multiple queues at the customs long room, numerous paperwork, duplication of forms, snaking lines at Times Tower, and agents who are constantly roaming the queues with a promise of faster processing if you met a certain criteria. The processes then were somehow designed to curtail access to KRA environment, and in fact, a person who knew someone at KRA was esteemed among peers because serikali was actually sirikali. This was our reality until financial year 2014-15, when we made a bold stride towards automation that anchored our digitization era. The introduction of iTax, Integrated Customs Management System, ICMS, and other subsystems substantially transformed and aligned KRA's compliance approach to engender facilitation rather than the traditional focus on enforcement. From a revenue perspective, it's in this period that we crossed the 1 trillion mark after collecting 1.069 trillion shillings in revenue compared to a collection of 964 billion in the previous year. By the year 2020, our modernization efforts gradually transitioned into an ambitious strategic direction, one that was keen to mobilize revenue through tax simplification, technology-driven compliance, and tax-based expansion. We were building on previous gains while managing unforeseen challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic. This notwithstanding, we were able to cross the 2 trillion mark in financial year 2021-2022, after collecting 2.031 trillion in revenues compared to a collection of 1.669 trillion in the previous financial year, again, demonstrating the resilience and promise of the Kenyan economic ecosystem. New business models, cross-border transactions, and rapid digital innovations demand an agile, modern, and collaborative approach to tax governance. KRA's digital transformation is therefore premised on a digital-first approach where technology becomes an enabler of tax compliance. At the heart of this journey is a bold commitment to reimagine the tax administration in line with the principles of OECD's Tax Administration 3.0. This model calls for a shift from traditional transactional approaches to a seamless, data-driven, and taxpayer-centric ecosystem, one where compliance is built on the very fabric of everyday life and business. For KRA, this means moving beyond simply collecting taxes to integrating compliance into the systems that taxpayers already use, such as digital payments, e-commerce platforms, and deploying advanced data analytics and artificial intelligence to not only detect risks, but also provide predictive, real-time support that makes compliance easier and more convenient for every taxpayer. The end goal is to create an environment where compliance is effortless, trust is built through transparency, and where technology bridges the gap between KRA and the people it serves. Looking ahead, we are expanding these innovations through the Enterprise Application Programming Interface, the API platform called GavaConnect, where we continue to collaborate with young developers and techies to co-create customized solutions that facilitate a passive, seamless, and convenient compliance experience while leveraging AI, data analytics, and machine learning. On the other hand, our tax education programs on the ground provides facilitation, stakeholder engagements, and collaboration with local administrations continue to bring our services closer to the people, while enabling us to implement initiatives that expand the tax base and nurture a culture of voluntary compliance. And yet, the true pulse of KRA lies not in systems, but in the men and women who have made those systems work, the KRA staff. Our staff are the true heroes of KRA's story. You have built on the foundation laid by our predecessors in the formative stages of the 90s to a digitally driven era and are boldly shaping KRA into an excellent, service-oriented public institution. You have carried this institution forward, often in challenging circumstances, and today I want to say I am proud of you and pleased to be associated with you. As a leadership, I give you a commitment that we will nurture your creativity, support your growth and your welfare, and ensure that your voices shape the KRA of tomorrow. I believe that by working together, we will achieve our mandate and spur Kenya into an even greater economic transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this milestone, let us also renew our commitment to responsible citizenship. Responsible tax conduct is not only good ethics, but also good economics. As Kenya scales up investment in infrastructure, healthcare, and education, as we scale up our investments in infrastructure, healthcare, and education, expanding the tax base through voluntary compliance remains primary and critical. As such, we will continue with our collaboration and our co-creation to enhance service delivery, strengthen our partnerships with all stakeholders, and thereby create a taxation system that supports economic growth, innovation, and job creation. As KRA, we approach the next chapter with hope and even greater promise. We are embracing a bold vision under our 9th corporate plan, driven by technology, strengthened by reforms, and anchored on trust. We are providing more targeted support and facilitation to our dynamic customers, expanding education and awareness to nurture voluntary compliance, and working collaboratively with National Treasury and Economic Planning to design policies that unlock economic opportunity. At the center of all this is a renewed culture, one of innovation, integrity, and inclusivity. We believe that this digital journey will not only enhance efficiency, but also redefine the relationship between the state and the citizen, and prove that taxation can be simple, fair, and supportive of business growth. We are set to position KRA as a world-class tax administration, fully aligned with the global best practices and ready to serve Kenya for the next 30 years. This is our bold declaration of the future we seek to build together. Thank you, and happy birthday, Team KRA. I now welcome the Chairman of the KRA Board of Directors to make his remarks.
Hamujambo. Hamujambo. Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning, the Honorable CPA John Mbadi, my colleague directors of KRA, or directors of the Board of KRA, Commissioners General present, founding, emeritus, and the 8th. Senior government officials, esteemed stakeholders, KRA staff, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Oh, it's still morning. I apologize. Good morning. Allow me to start by stating the obvious. You know, without revenue, there is no state. It's a fairly straightforward point. Without revenue, there is no state. It's not a unique trait of Kenya. I'm talking globally. And it's not just in current times. Even in the time of Jesus, those of you who read either the Bible or the Quran, you'll have noticed where the citizen is being encouraged to finance the state. Because without taxes, there is no state. And I'll come back to this point as I finish my remarks. The second thing that is also perhaps not as obvious to all of us in the Republic is that KRA, or perhaps let me be more specific, when we say customs, it is customs and border control. And border control is a security function about what and who comes to this republic and what it means for the safety of the citizens of this republic. I said to you again, without these functions, there is no state. So it's a profound honor for me, and I think for all of us, to be here to celebrate 30 years of KRA, 3 decades of remarkable service and commitment to building our nation and its future. It's a wonderful milestone, but it's not just about the institution itself. It's about the extraordinary men and women who breathe life into KRA every single day. And reflecting on that journey, we must take pride in the milestones achieved by successive cycles of leadership. From the Secretariat that Winnie has so eloquently described, through the transformation to automated systems, to current work at digital transformation. And each era has left legacy, and legacy of progress. Over these years, each board, each commissioner general, each leadership team has contributed to the KRA we see today. An institution that is resilient, that is adaptive, that is central to Kenya's economic stability. As we were in the holding room, Dr. Susan Koech, the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, reminded us the relationships, the economic relationships, that to finance the affairs of the state every year, our Cabinet Secretary and government depends on the outcomes of KRA. If those outcomes are less than perhaps was expected, then it falls to her and the monetary authority to go into the market to borrow in order to finance the state. When that happens, it is in competition with private sector, which then has impact in terms of the health of the economy. So this key institutions are interrelated that way. And so I want to remind all of us that debt is deferred tax. I see my friends nodding and wondering where I'm going with this. Debt is deferred tax because ultimately we have to raise or collect revenue that is used to pay that tax. That is why, for instance, we track ratios such as the debt service to ordinary revenue, because ultimately we have to raise revenue to pay debts. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, the progress that has been made over these 30 years should give us confidence that the future will even be brighter. From a governance point of view, as board, our duty has been to ensure accountability, safeguard integrity, and align KRA's operations to Kenya's development priorities. Beyond policies and systems, our greatest responsibility certainly is to the people who serve KRA. You, our staff, are the very soul of the Kenya Revenue Authority. That is why, at board, we are deliberate in resource mobilization efforts to ensure that KRA is well-resourced to fully discharge its mandate. We envision, at board, a full transformation of KRA into a service institution. We simplified compliance processes, efficient service delivery, a customer-centered facilitation approach, enhanced staff welfare, and pathways for career growth. It also means that we intentionally nurture an environment where innovation and creativity thrives, where ideas are heard and where contributions are celebrated. Equally important, we continue to provide sound governance and strategic oversight to the leadership and the larger KRA fraternity. In delivering this mandate, we will continue to strengthen collaboration with other government agencies, with Parliament, with county governments, the private sector, as well as development partners to steer KRA towards becoming an efficient, credible, transparent, and accountable institution. You know, I was observing when the Commissioner General spoke about what has happened to their hair. You know, the Commissioner. Well, I think I've not been here enough to lose all of it. What I have discovered, what I saw sitting next to my waziri there, is that both of us, well, it's a bit more gray than it was not so long ago. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to be a service institution. So I'm sure you'll ask me, like who? Where are you looking? The Swedish tax agency comes to mind. By the way, you know, Commissioner Obel and Commissioner Rispa may be happy to know, in Sweden, the elections body is a department. Tunaelewana? The elections body in Sweden is a department of the equivalent of KRA, that is the STA. Whenever surveys are done, the STA is usually in the top 10 most trusted institutions in Sweden. And we aspire to be that. I am gratified to see, though, that when surveys are done in Kenya about where to work, where Kenyans would like to work, KRA is usually in the top 5. Looking to the future, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, resource mobilization will remain key because Kenya's ambitious development agenda requires an empowered, well-supported tax administration. In this regard, we will continue to advocate for adequate funding to forge stronger partnerships with the National Treasury and development partners, and to embrace innovative financing that allows KRA to expand its capacity while prioritizing service delivery, staff growth, and welfare. By working together, we can mobilize resources more effectively, shape responsive policies, and ensure taxation serves as a true engine of national growth. As we mark this 30th anniversary, let us celebrate the past and also commit to a future where KRA is not only a leader in revenue administration, but also a model employer that nurtures, values, and protects its people. Together, we can build KRA and a more prosperous Kenya. So as I conclude, I said to you again, without revenue, there is no state. And the state belongs to you, the citizens. And the reason we wish to transform ourselves to Kenya Revenue Service is that we are a service to you, the citizens of the Republic, to collect resources to finance the state. And we therefore, at every turn, seek to be a service provider to you, to be a partner as we improve in the manner highlighted by the Commissioner General. So happy 30th anniversary, KRA. The best is yet to come. Mujipigie makofi. It is now my great honor and pleasure to welcome the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning to speak to us and to the Republic. Welcome, Waziri. Let's appreciate the Cabinet Secretary as he comes forward.
That's it. Thank you. Happy 30th birthday. Thank you. Clap for yourselves. Thank you very much. I'll make this official speech. Then you'll allow me to say two more things. Thank you. So the chairman, Kenya Revenue Authority Board of Directors, my brother and friend, Honorable Ndiritu Mureithi, KRA Board of Directors present here this morning, the Commissioner General of Kenya Revenue Authority, Mr. Humphrey Watanga. I also want to recognize the 001, CG001, Mr. Edgar Manasseh, and of course, my other friend, Mr. Musafari, 003. Is that correct? Senior government officials present here, esteemed stakeholders, KRA staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once more. Of course, I will also not forget that we have in the house Madam Susan Koech, the CBK Deputy Governor. I'm also told there's FKE, yeah, is that correct? And the others, I think all stakeholders. Let me say again, good morning. It is with great pleasure that I join you today as we officially launch Kenya Revenue Authority's 30-year anniversary celebrations. Today is actually a moment of pride. It's also a moment of reflection and renewal. We gather not only to celebrate this great institution, but also to acknowledge its transformative role in supporting Kenya's economic growth, as the chairman has already alluded to, strengthening our public financial management, and also advancing our shared vision for a prosperous and self-reliant nation. The mobilization of domestic resources so as to achieve Vision 2030 in a fair and effective way is a huge challenge. The role has been made even more challenging given the escalation of debt costs, what almost we would term as near debt crisis in this country. So for 3 decades, KRA has been an essential partner in Kenya's journey of national development. This spans the better as well as the more challenging periods of our development history. Since its establishment in 1995, and CG, remember, I was in third year at the University of Nairobi when you gave birth to this institution. The revenue collected by KRA has truly been the lifeblood of our nation's progress, representing our collective contribution to building a better future, and the foundation upon which we can chart our own destiny. It is for this reason that the National Treasury and Economic Planning fully supports Kenya Revenue Authority's rallying call, that is, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee. This is more than a slogan. It is a call to national duty and shared responsibility. So during the span of these last 30 years, despite the efforts by KRA to raise enough revenue to meet the country's budgetary needs and ensure government self-reliance, the tax revenue to GDP ratio still remains at 16.8%. While this figure is a testament to KRA's hard work, it is still below the levels achieved by other countries with similar economic profiles like ours, such as South Africa at 25%. This comparison highlights not just a gap, but an opportunity, a chance for us to raise our ambitions, refine our strategies, and build a tax system that better reflects the strengths and potential of our economy. On the fiscal front, the government projects total revenue, inclusive of grants for financial year 2025-26, to increase by 8% to 3.4 trillion shillings, which is equivalent to 17.5% of our GDP, from 3.1 trillion in financial year 24-25, which was equivalent to 17.9% of GDP. Achieving this will require collective effort and coordinated action across all arms and levels of government. Besides revenue collected by KRA, the government will intensify efforts to mobilize own source revenues from ministries, departments, agencies, and counties, while also creating an enabling environment for private sector growth and attracting more foreign direct investment. At the same time, we will take decisive steps to curb runaway expenditure through prudent fiscal consolidation, strengthening our financial management systems by adopting systems like accrual accounting at both the national county levels and sustaining the digitization of our government processes and services to improve efficiency, transparency, and accountability. What am I saying there? I want to pause a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, you work for KRA. How do you feel when we keep on telling you to be people of integrity, to collect revenue and remit it without compromising your morals? And when you finish, the money is with us, and we give it out to be spent, and you see people blatantly stealing it. Would you be happy? That is why, as we put efforts and ask you that you remain men and women of integrity, that you employ those systems that would ensure efficiency, transparency, and accountability. So is a demand that those of us who are charged with the responsibility of expending the very revenue that you collect must also equally employ fair, transparent, accountable, and cost-effective systems that would ensure prudent use of the resources that we collect. And that is why the government insists that we must, and we have no choice about it, we must automate all our systems. And expenditure, more particularly procurement, has been lagging behind. Almost over 90% manual. That this must also be automated so that we can improve efficiency. I know there is pushback, I know there is resistance, but I will tell you that was expected. What will make it work is the will and the commitment of the leadership of this country. I may come back to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not merely about changing numbers. Building a revenue system that is fair, inclusive, and growth-oriented. It's about broadening the tax base in a manner that brings the traditionally hard-to-tax sectors into the fold, while ensuring that existing taxpayers are not burdened. In fact, I've told the CG, and I've told the chairman as well, that we have talked far too long about broadening this tax base. Mpaka, it has become a song. I don't know how far we need to go with this broadening of tax base if we are still talking about it. I think the best thing is now to come to a point where we are sure that we have either concluded broadening the tax base or we are near there. Because it is broadening, every budget speech, broadening tax base. In fact, next budget speech, if God permits me to read it, I think that terminology, and when I'm seeing you here, you are the ones who are drafting my speech. I don't want to see that word, broadening of tax base. I think I saw Mwenda somewhere here. Maybe I've seen his look-alike. But I hope this message goes to him. If we cannot broaden this tax base between now and June next year, then we better just put it aside and live the way we are living. Because we can't be talking about the same thing every year. I heard Rotich speak about broadening tax base. I can't remember whether Njeru Gidai also spoke about. But I think even Uhuru Kenyatta, as Minister for Finance, talked about broadening the tax base. Let us either actualize it, ama tuseme tumeshindwa. Sindio? So broadening of this tax base, CG, must be concluded in your tenure. What is it? What are these gadgets that have not been bought? Or what is it that we are not doing right? It's about reducing the cost of doing business, ensuring that the tax administration supports enterprises, and reinforcing the principle that we all have a role to play in building the Kenya we aspire to have. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we look to the future, it is clear that we must reassess and reimagine our tax policies and revenue administration strategies. We must be bold in reform, but also deliberate in ensuring fairness. We cannot treat taxpayers like criminals. We must employ a system where we are bold, but at the same time we must be fair. We must benchmark against best practices, and I've heard, Chairman, you've quoted a very good classical example, and there are many across the globe while designing solutions that suit our unique context. I know we are unique as a country as well. That we must also live with. Kenya is unique in everything, even our democracy. We are very unique. We have no comparison. Please don't go anywhere to try to compare Kenya with any other country. You will fail miserably. But even with our uniqueness, we also still live in the global world. So we can still borrow examples from others. And let us, by the way, compare ourselves with the best. Not where, anyway, let me not go there. Above all, we must remember that a healthy, expanding economy remains the surest and most sustainable path to increasing revenue. Our economy must grow. There is no way we can increase revenue without economic growth. And that is why the government is committed to looking at those sectors that are struggling so that we have a holistic, growing economy. Our economy has been lucky that we are a diversified economy. That has ensured some resilience. But we must make sure that those sectors, like manufacturing sector, mining, those ones which have been struggling, like construction, we try to help those sectors to grow. Once the economy is growing as a whole, then grow without even doing anything. Just maintain status quo and your revenue will be growing. But now if you put effort, then definitely we will have better revenue collection. So today, as we mark 3 decades of KRA's dedicated service to the nation, we also renew our commitment to the journey ahead. Let us renew our commitment to the journey ahead. We do so with confidence in our capabilities. I believe in you, people. I believe you can deliver. That is why I come here. If I didn't believe you could deliver, I would not waste my time. So I believe in you, and I believe the entire government, I know, believes that KRA can deliver. We trust, thank you for that. We trust in the resilience of our people and faith in enduring promise of Kenya. Is adequately funded and fully equipped to fund our country's budget effectively. So I know I've failed you a bit, because when I last came here, I said I was going to put a lot of effort on KRA. But 2 things have happened. Number 1 is that naturally I didn't know the weight of what was waiting for me at the National Treasury. To be honest with you, I had no idea as to whether, if I had all the information and facts, would have changed my mind from taking this position. I don't think so. But again, there was also changes at Kenya Revenue Authority. A new chairman was coming in, and so you also want to give space to people to get in without appearing like you are distracting and disorganizing the system. But I think now, Mr. Chairman, and having worked with you in other places fairly well, I don't see why we can't, again, work closely to support KRA to deliver. And when KRA delivers, Kenya benefits. Yeah. So congratulations once again to KRA on this milestone. May the next 30 years be filled with even greater success, innovation, and service to our beloved nation. So I wanted to conclude. I didn't have a very long speech. But before I conclude, I want to say a few things. Let me start by saying you cannot rebuild trust with the population by playing safe. You can't. If you want to please everyone and play safe, you can never rebuild trust, especially where trust has been lost. The population must see you, that you are serious. They must see a serious person in you to again have trust. We must be seen, or you must be seen, to be trying to take on corruption, which is our biggest national monster. We must confront it, my friends. We must. I have spoken with you before. I don't want to speak about it again. It will be like wherever I come here, I am giving you dressing down. But you know yourselves. I was today sharing with Lillian, Chairman, and CG, that if you get the data from China, of exports from China to Kenya, just get that data and compare with our imports from China. These two should be the same, like for like. But they are not. And how I wish that one time imports would also show higher figures than the exports from China. How come the figures in China are always higher than ours? It's because there are some people who are playing with the numbers somewhere. And those people are across there. They are not with me. I'm not the one. I have not called anyone among you, see, ever since I became CS 1 year ago, to tell you that please clear that good. I've never called Lillian here. I'm a Lillian, nimekupigia simu. I have not called you. I have not called anyone. I will not call for the period that I will serve in this ministry. Hata kama ni mtoto wangu, he will come to me to help him or give him a loan to clear the goods there, and he will pay me later, or she will pay me later. So, where is this fear? Please, get it right. I am appealing to your morality. I know many of us here have those standards, very high standards. Keep it there and pull the rest. Some of them are your friends. If you see them like this, please tell them what you are doing is not good. It's destroying this country. You know, we always refer to public service as a calling. Is that not correct? I believe, I have no doubt not to believe. And I believe that more faces of the true public service will emerge. Will emerge. In KRA, there are a whole country, true faces of public service. Because we have a duty. We have a duty. I'm telling you, now that I have been the Treasury, it has opened my eyes even more. It has opened my eyes more. I thought I knew a lot about public service. I thought I knew a lot about people's sufferings. I just knew a percentage of the suffering. We have Kenyans who need medication and they cannot afford. Us, at least, maybe we may be lucky that if you are sick, if you are unwell, you can get medical attention. There are Kenyans out there who dies simply because they can't afford 100,000 shillings, which some of you spend on their lunches and dinner dates. But losing his life or her life somewhere in the corner of this country because they can't afford medication. It would be important if we have a government which can make provision of health care affordable and accessible. And that can happen if you collect the money from Kenyans who should pay it and remit it in whole. And then we use it to educate those children who cannot go to school because they can't afford school fees. Because capitation can't reach them. The government cannot provide enough budget. Why? Because our revenue is depressed. So I am just appealing to you. And as we do that, we will also play our part of ensuring that the money that you collect and give us, we use it also prudently. And that is where I started somewhere, that you can see the resistance against e-procurement. We all live in this country. We know if you see tender in the government, that is what they say here in the streets. And I've been a street person, and I'm still one. I listen, I hear. If you don't know who knows who, if you don't know someone who knows someone in government, don't waste your time. That is what they are saying. You will not get that tender. It's already decided. And what does that mean? There is a markup. There is money that we should not pay as a country, but we pay because someone wants to manipulate the system to profit themselves. manual systems can never be transparent. Manual systems can never be efficient. And this talk of it can't work, where is it coming from? And you know, the people who are saying it can't work have never even tried. If we can print, our passport has been digitized and is accepted worldwide. It's a security document. We are printing it here locally. And you're telling us that we cannot procure through an e-procurement? We cannot procure digitally? That it is unconstitutional, what? Which is this constitution which is supporting corruption? That's not the constitution that I campaigned for in 2010. That's not the constitution that I read, that I took a whole weekend to understand before it was passed. Our constitution calls for transparency. Article 227, clear, telling the government, the implementers, to make sure that a system that is fair, transparent, accountable, and cost-effective is implemented. And asks you to pass legislation. And the legislation was passed, Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. Thank God it was passed when I was in Parliament, 2015. And in that act, you read from section 49 all the way to 64. It talks nothing else but electronic procurement system. And then it gives rise to regulations. Again, I thank God I was in Parliament in 2020 when regulations were passed. And Regulation 49 actually conditions you as a default procurement method to e-procurement. So when I hear, and for even's sake, I've been a member of Parliament for 17 years. When I hear someone saying that there was no public participation, all this document went through public participation. You can't be asking public every time you want to do everything. That now I want to buy biro pens. Public, can you approve it? The public has already approved regulations, which again has approved electronic procurement system. Then now when Mbadi wants to issue a circular, you want the public again to be involved. Then why did the public give me this job? Because they gave it to me through the elected representatives who vetted me. During my vetting, let me make you laugh. During my vetting, one of the outstanding reforms that I pledged I would support to deliver to the people of Kenya was e-procurement. And the committee members of Parliament praised me for that. His Excellency the President, while giving the last State of the Nation address, gave National Treasury up to July to implement e-procurement. And I remember members of Parliament clapped very hard. In fact, I think they even stood under their seats. And I was watching from the dais. And I took note as a faithful servant of the people of Kenya that I'm going to do that. When I announced on April 7th April, that we are going to have e-procurement, no one raised a finger. That was public participation. What can be more public participation than that? Official launch at what do we call it? Kenya School of Government. Then, again, on 12th of June, before 12th of June, I went across the country. You saw me at Jivanji. And at Jivanji, I was very clear. I told those people there, and Kenyans were watching, that we will implement e-procurement because they were asking me, you are collecting so much money from us. How come we don't see value for it? People are stealing it. I guaranteed them that that theft will be minimized, reduced to minimal, because we are going to implement e-procurement. And they clapped. Those who are Kenyan, public participation. Public participation, extensive one, at Jivanji, daytime. Finally, when I went to Parliament on 12th of June to read my budget speech, one of the key reforms was e-procurement. Again, my former colleague, members of Parliament, clapped for me. How, again, this has turned out to be unconstitutional, lack of public participation, I can only guess that self-interest has now come in. And to me, that is not something I'm going to accept. And I want to conclude. I'm not going to accept it. We are going to see you, how you do the procurement. We are going to watch, including tender evaluation, tutaangalia, umevaluate namna gani. Lastly, for counties, up to about 31 counties, their budgets have come from the control of budget. Wengine wanapika kelele na hata budget yao haijakuja. So how do you procure without a budget? You know what some people used to do, especially in the counties? They used to start agreeing with contractors and the suppliers to give them goods even without procurement. That one is not going to happen now. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I wish I could do it differently. It is not possible. If you talk to someone to give you to supply you without following the procurement process, hiyo itakuwa shida. So that is the problem. So their budgets, the 31 which have come, they are being processed. 13 of them, I will give the statistics after today, maybe tomorrow. 13 of them are being processed. In fact, 2 counties are ready to start putting their annual procurement plan in the system. They are ready, they can put it. I think one of them is Kitui. He's ready. Kitui is ready, can roll out. I think they are ready. I'll give those statistics. Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is now procuring. PPRA is procuring. Wewe bado unanyamaza hapo unangoja. No, it is not. You are praying, it doesn't work. You are praying very hard. I don't think your prayer will be hard because God can never be that unjust and unfair to the people of Kenya. I want to end my statement, my speech by saying, let us embrace change. Change will never be loved. It comes with a lot of disruptions. Even when you were changing the system, you took me through. Where is that good lady who took me through? Yeah, and explained to me how you started in 2003. Yes, my sister there. How 2003 you started. And remember, Commissioner General, at that time you were probably just collecting, in 1995, you were collecting about 100 and something billion. Then came 2003, then they started digitizing. And with that now we are at 2.something trillion, 2.5. I'm sure if we went back to manual, the way we were doing it, those days where you work with books, then unauliza, we umelipa tax, how much have you paid? Hizi goods zako ni pesa gapi? I am sure we would still be collecting billions, not trillion, isn't it? So let us just embrace change. I don't know, maybe I've spoken too much, you'll forgive me. But I guess I was the last speaker. Yeah, so KRA chairman, you know that I am ready. We can to work with you very closely to support you. I know usually the problem is money, 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 isn't it? And you remember what I said? And Nabado, we have not fed the cow. So Commissioner General, let's sit with the chairman, let's sit to angalia, what can we do? You also know we are facing challenges. But if some of you are also colluding with those taxpayers, especially VAT, those, you call them absentee what? Missing. Those missing traders of yours. If you can eliminate missing traders, you know, we are paying a lot of money to people who have not done, they are just claiming, they are employing accountants to cook books. Yeah? If you can reduce that, then we will also make more money available for you. I'm not saying all of you, you know a few of you things. Most of you are okay, but these few people are making money unavailable for all of us. So we must work on that. But Chairman, CG, let's see what we can do. Let's not just be talking. Yeah? Let's see what we can do. We have a supplementary budget maybe coming soon. We can add some revenue to KRA so that so long as you convince me. You are clapping before I finish. So long as you can convince me that if we give this 1 billion, it can translate into another 10 billion. And I'll hold you for it. Because if I give you the 1 billion and 6 months inaisha, sijaona hata 500 million, sasa hapo tutakosana. Sindio? Thank you very much. God bless KRA and happy birthday to KRA again. The 30th birthday. It's not easy to live. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Bwana Waziri. Another round of applause for Bwana Waziri, please. Thank you very much. You may take your seats for those very candid remarks. A great reminder of when you were here and you talked about the cow. Someone said when you're driving your car, there's E for empty and there's E for enough. He said that time the cow was enough, now it's at empty. But thank you very much for looking into our issues. We are grateful for your speech. Bwana Waziri, today's a day of confessions. You have led us through confessions. I want to confess. I apologize. I gave some wrong detail. I want to pay our respects to our fallen commissioners general, 2 of them who have left us. That is Mr. John Munge and Mr. Michael Waweru, who have since transitioned, and my apologies for the previous mention. May their souls continue resting in graceful and eternal peace. We want to, during the just concluded National Music Festival competitions that were held in Meru, our very ambitious, were you there in Meru? Mulienda Meru? Some went, some did not go. You were the one who went. Ulikula peke yako. All right. So there's a song that was composed, Bwana Waziri, to celebrate KRA at 30. And this song was placed as a competition song in Meru. And it was sung through various categories, all the way from primary school into tertiary education, composed and sung just for the celebration of KRA at 30. And right now we want to welcome the KRA choir to present to you the Pearl Bonanza song, which was presented at the music festival. KRA choir, karibu.
sheria za kodi na kuishauri serikali ya Kenya kuhusu sera za mapato. Shule zaimarika, hospitali zajengwa, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Barabara zetu na reli zaboreshwa, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Tumepunguza umaskini nchini, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Tumeboresha maendeleo kiuchumi na kijamii, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Tumeimarisha biashara nchini, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Tumeongeza nafasi za ajira, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Tumeimarisha uthabiti wa kifedha, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Tumeboresha maendeleo kiuchumi na kijamii, ni kwa sababu ya ushuru tunaoulipa. Huduma sasa zimekuwa bora na haraka, tunajivunia huduma bora. Huduma sasa zimekuwa bora na haraka, tunajitahidi kuijenga Kenya. Teknolojia imerahisisha huduma zetu, tunajivunia huduma bora. Taarifa zote zinapatikana kwa mtandao, tunajitahidi kuijenga Kenya. Huduma bora, tunajitahidi kuijenga Kenya. Huduma bora, tunajitahidi kuijenga Kenya. Tunasherehekea miaka 30 kushirikiana tukijenga Kenya. Tunasherehekea miaka 30 ya kuwawezesha wananchi kote Kenya. Tulipe ushuru, Wakenya wote tujitegemee, tushirikiane tuijenge Kenya. Tushirikiane tuijenge Kenya yetu, tuijenge Kenya.
Seated to the CEO of CASNEB next to him, and Professor Letting, and he asked me, Wagani, people don't have a documentary to show your story as KRA. I said, CEO, wait a moment, say no more. There is the documentary, so thank you very much for being our partners in this journey of 30 years right here at the Kenya Revenue Authority. Bwana Waziri, we are now off to our next portion of our program. We want to appreciate that secretariat that was talked about. It must have taken guts to actually answer the call and go and fulfill this big dream of setting up a revenue administration, something that had never been done in this great nation of Kenya. And they took the bold step and said, okay, here we are. Let's do this thing. And because of that resilience, that answering the call, and everybody else who joined from the ministries thereafter, and everyone who has joined KRA thereafter, years on, even the ones who joined this year. Is there anybody who joined KRA this year and you're in the room? You joined KRA this year. Have we recruited? I'm not sure. But even the interns, anybody who joined KRA? All right, Bwana Waziri, there's someone who's 30 years old in this room, and they turned 30. Their birthday was on they were born 1st July 1995 when Kerry was being born. I think I just want you to recognize them. I think it's the lady at the top there, and there's a lady there. Please stand. just for Bwana Waziri to see you. If KRA was a human, that's how it would look. Young and energetic. Thank you very much, ladies. You can take your seats. I want to humbly request Bwana Waziri if you could come and join me here on stage, flanked by CG and our chair. And Director Boro, if you could please join us. We want to appreciate the Secretariat with just a little token, and everybody else who has worked in KRA for all those years. We do have an appreciation as well for you that will come on later in the month of September. But to represent you, allow me to call upon the first team of the Secretariat, who handled all the roles that Winnie told us about. They were the office messengers, they were also the managers, they were also the HR, they were hiring, they were firing, they were serving tea, they were cleaning, they were writing reports, they were everything, all things to all men. So allow me to call them one by one. Madam Helen Jagi. Helen, please come. Followed by Winnie Mugo, followed by Angeline Bijiwe. And the lady who transited, but represented by her family forever, please come through this. Yes, go pick. You will start by saying hello to CG, and then you come pick your certificate presented to Nancy, if you could. Yes, that's fine. All right, that is Helen Jagi. Thank you very much, Helen. Helen is still in service, followed by Winnie Mugo, then Angeline Bijiwe. You could stand here. We're going to take a quick photo, a group photo with you. The representative of Francesca Mutua is Josim. Josim, here you are. Thank you, Josim. Josim works in finance. Madam Francisca Mutua left us. And Mr. Francis Gevendu. Bwana Waziri, Mr. Gevendu, we have just conducted a quick poll. He's the longest serving KRA staff in the room. We don't know about the rest, but right here in the room, he has served for 39 years. Thank you very much, Mr. Gevendu. We appreciate your service. We will take a quick group photo. After that, thank you. Our first secretary to the CG was Madam Anne Wangombe. She served. Madam Anne Wangombe, she served as the first secretary to the Commissioner General. We also have Helen Bila. Helen was the first board secretary who actively participated in drafting the Kenya Revenue Authority bill. Posthumously, we have Mr. Peter Ndegwa. I believe his family is here representing. He was the first board chair. So Honorable Derito, the first board chair was Peter Ndegwa. We remember him posthumously, and he's represented here by his family. Thank you, ma'am. And finally, CG001, Mr. Edgar Manasseh. We also just want to appreciate you, sir. If you could kindly just join us. Thank you, ma'am. Asanteni sana. As Madam Anne Wangombe, she was the first secretary to the CG with her certificate. Getting his certificate is CG001. Mr. Edgar Manasseh. And finally, Bwana Waziri, we would want you to take on our behalf the certificates of appreciation for Honorable Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who was the then Minister of Finance, who championed and presented the KRA bill to that led to the enactment of the KRA Act, and that marked the legal birth of the Kenya Revenue Authority. So Bwana Waziri will have, okay. You should also do the walk. That is fine, Bwana Waziri. We are humbled you will do the walk. Yes, you can walk, Bwana Waziri, and Bwana CG will give you. There you go. Let's appreciate Bwana Waziri on behalf of PCS Prime Cabinet Secretary Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. May I request our team Alpha, if it's okay, you could take a step down. We take a photo there. Please just take a step down. Thank you very much. Alan, if we could help the ladies go down. Okay. Thank you. All right, and then our Commissioners General, you could move back and yes, just stand right behind them. Director Boro, if you could come on this side next to CG so that we balance the photo. There we are. There we are. There we are. All right, happy birthday. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Happy Fantastic. We were not expecting that, but we can sing it. Happy birthday, dear KRA. Happy birthday, dear KRA. Dear KRA, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, dear. May you have many, many more. All right, there you have it. So we are having the senior leadership join the photo. Thank you, Team Alpha, Commissioner Obel, Commissioner Rispa, Commissioner Nancy, representing Commissioner Matuko. All right. We're taking the second leadership photo. This is the KRA Team 1 photo. Okay, there we go. Is everybody in the frame? Okay. Andrew? Choir, you could be singing, humming a song. Just hum a song. Thank you very much, choir. May I seek your indulgence, Waziri? This is such a memorable moment. May I request you to just take one last photo with CG001, 001, CG003, and CG008. Just a quick, memorable photo here, if that's okay. Yes, Waziri, please. Just a quick one, so that we have. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners General. Thank you. Thank you, Bwana Waziri. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much, CS. Thank you very much, everybody. We want to call upon we want to call upon the KCA University, they will perform a Swahili choral verse titled Leo Hii Twasherekea Miaka 30 ya Ushindi. It's composed by our very own KRA staff member, Nicholas Kimtai. Their presentation beautifully blends harmony and spoken word, delivering not only entertainment, but also a powerful reflection on KRA's remarkable journey that began from humble beginnings and a message of encouragement that appreciates the invaluable support of our stakeholders who have worked with us throughout this journey, while also inspiring our current staff to continue upholding the same spirit of dedication and excellence. KCA University also joins us as a center of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we appreciate our Gen Z University here with us?